Hola. Today I'm in conversation with Nathan Bergstedt from Minnesota, United States of America. Nathan is an adventure seeker and a passionate cyclist. He's into bikepacking, bike touring, and has completed a 1200-mile trip all the way from his home state of Minnesota to. Up next, he talks about his cycling journey, what inspired him to take it up, how it has helped him deal with his medical condition, and the sorrow of losing his favorite bike. Hi, Nathan. Thank you so much for joining us on Roadbenders.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Could you tell us first that when did your cycling journey actually begin?
This would have been, I believe, in late 2016, so not that long ago. I've been an active rider for a long time prior to that, mostly bike commuting and going for, just longer rides, but nothing too crazy. And I was at a bar with a couple friends, one of whom just got back from hiking the Appalachian Trail, and the stories were amazing. And I found myself sitting there thinking, it's like I want to do that, but not that. I want to go on my own adventure. I don't want to hike the Appalachian Trail. What should I do? And I voiced that out loud, and my other friend, very drunkenly, just said, "You need to go on a bike trip. That's what you need to do." So she had basically decided that for me, and I was like, "Yeah, what you said." I started researching stuff. It's like, okay, bike touring, bike packing is a thing, and I hadn't really thought about it before. And I made a decision to bike from north of Minnesota and Grand Rapids, where I lived, which is just shy of the headwaters of the Mississippi River, and follow the river all the way to St. Louis, Missouri. It's like a 1,200-mile trip or so, and I had a couple reasons for being St. Louis, Missouri, but just it seemed like a good distance for an epic adventure as well. And I spent the next few months just figuring it out, including getting a job part-time at a bike shop where I had been a customer in the past, and the owner was kind enough to take me on as an apprentice, so I could, learn how to fix my bike if I needed to, if I'm in the middle of nowhere. So I spent a few months working on bikes and just figuring out what I need to do.
Right.
I took my first trip in 2017.
Nice. So where was your first trip?
That was, I didn't even do an overnight somewhere else. My first trip was that 1,200-mile trip to St. Louis, and it was absolutely incredible. After the first day, I was hooked. I averaged about 50 miles a day, and with the exception of the first day, I knew where I wanted to stop that first night, and then the last night, I knew I was stopping in St. Louis. Everywhere in between, I didn't know where I was going to be, sleeping that night until I got there. So, it was just this meandering journey where I just followed the river, and I just kind of saw where it led me. I met so many amazing people, and that was just such a wonderful experience.
Quite an adventure.
I feel ineloquent right now when trying to bring this back.
Nice.
It was so.
So how would you say cycling has changed the way you look at life?
Well, especially after that first adventure, it's like I see people differently. So many. It's not that I've always been I've never been a huge pessimist when it comes to people and the human condition in general. But I came across so many acts of just trust and kindness, particularly trust. Like that was, kindness. Kindness can happen in little doses everywhere you go, and it's wonderful. But when people like genuinely trust you, it's very humbling. It's like yes, and you're letting me stay in your home tonight because you just like the idea of what I'm doing and you think I seem trustworthy. And I wake up, it's like this happened in southern Wisconsin, southern Iowa. I was leaving a cafe just to go find a place to make camp, and this guy on a date, looked over. They were sitting on the patio, and they saw my bike. He's like, "Oh, is that your bike? Where are you? What are you doing? Where are you going?" And they started asking questions, and I said, at the end of that, I was like, "Well, I gotta go find a place to camp." He's like, "Do you need a place to stay?" Like, I guess. "I live just over blah blah blah. Here, right over there. Here, you hold the table, honey." And and he met me over at his house, let me in, showed me where the shower is, and said, "Yeah." And I didn't see him after that. He got home after me, after I went to sleep, and he left for work before I woke up. And I was just me and his cat. When I woke up that morning, I was like, "Yeah, this guy totally just trusts me." So I try to extend that as much as I can. Just giving people the benefit of the doubt wherever I can, and so often I don't. But then I remember all those times people trusted me, and I try to pay that forward.
Right. And you also mentioned that, it has helped you with your medical condition.
Yes. Yeah, I deal with depression, and I've never found anything quite like distance cycling. I mean, particularly on a longer tour where all you're doing every day, your job every day is just to ride. There's something very meditative about just the consistency of the road, of the miles going underneath you on the road, and you're just paying attention to your breathing. And I mean, it is very much what you do when you meditate, except for you're getting more exercise than a traditional meditation.
Right.
And so many times, like, I've never found myself in such like a Zen type of space in my head than when I'm riding, and it's very mentally and emotionally freeing. Like, all of a sudden, like, there's room for more stuff.
Awesome.
Like, it's a great way to take the mental garbage out.
Right. Absolutely. So, what would you say out of all of your cycling journeys has been your high point?
High point? Well, let's see. I would say, I'm going to try to get to another trip here. Only once I've actually gone on a trip with other people, and this was about a year and a half ago now. My first kind of official bike packing trip, for people who make the distinction between bike touring and bike packing. Some friends of mine and I on our plus bikes, 3-inch wide tires, hardtail mountain bikes. We made a plan to do a trip in northern Minnesota, in the Arrowhead region, going through trails and logging roads. It's a route that's actually plotted out on bikepacking.com, and so we're like, yeah, let's do that. Since I didn't have a car, I biked from Minneapolis to Duluth, where I met them, and then they picked me up and drove about an hour north to where we're at, where the loop starts. And let's see, that was just an amazing trip, but a high point, yeah, high point. there was, this is like a literal high point because we were like cresting this ridge, and there was four of us, and me and my friend Brett were like in the front, and we're just kind of riding and talking. The other guys are catching up a little bit. And then all of a sudden, it's like we started going down. Like, well, we'll just let them catch up. And all of a sudden, we didn't realize that it was this was a downhill run, and we just started hauling down this hill, rocks and everything, and we're riding side by side, and we got all our gear on us. We're just like kind of going back and forth, in the like the lanes of the trail where trucks had gone through, 4x4s had gone through before, and it was fun. It was communal. Had a friend. It was scary because I had a friend there. We could have run into each other so easy, and it was just exhilarating. And it's one of the things that I haven't really gotten too much of on bikepacking trips, because most of them have been just like two destinations, and so a lot of pavement and a lot of that zen riding. And all of a sudden, we're mountain biking through the woods, and like this. Don't ever ride side by side with anyone. That's a terrible idea. But both of us are probably never going to forget that, because it scared the hell out of us, and it was so fun. And it was just, we got to the bottom like, whoa, where are the other guys?
Nice. So, what according to you is the secret of cycling long distance?
The secret of cycling long distance, patience. You can be as physically fit as you want, but let's face it, it takes a long time. So you can, even if you're not that physically fit, you can still bike a long distance if you have patience. It's just going to take you longer. It just means you need more patience. But yeah, just a willingness to be bored.
So,
and I think that's something that a lot of people have forgotten how to do. Because in the age of the internet and iPhones and so forth, it's an easy thing to forget. But apparently not impossible, because bikepacking has become a huge thing. So, which is great.
Right.